Staying with analog 20 of the Gospel of Philip, I want to read the beginning of this analog. The last time we worked on the last bit, and I wanted to stay with it and reverse the order of working with it a little bit because it was slightly long. There's a lot of meat in it, but I want to get right to it. And so here is analog 20, at least a bit of it. Saints and sages are often served even by the oppressive powers, which have been blinded by the sacred spirit. These powers imagine that it is they who are affecting humanity, when in fact they are actually serving sacred beings. Man, is that beautiful given the times we live and the times really that Earth has existed in. Earth has had a difficult go, and the people and the creatures of Earth have had a difficult time. We have a difficult time, and we will continue to have a difficult time. But I want to read it again. Saints and sages are often served even by oppressive powers, which have been blinded by the sacred spirit. These powers imagine it is they who are affecting humanity, when in fact they are actually serving sacred beings. And man, I love that because it takes away the responsibility of me to deal with the evil of this world. And of course, I'm reminded by the Lord's Prayer, deliver us from evil. Well, that's a powerful thing because we are to be delivered from evil. We are not the ones who are going to vanquish or conquer evil, nor eradicate evil. And this is a similar sentiment, that these powers that we consider to be pure evil, in a way they are serving sacred beings. And that is a wonderful thing because it means that I do not have to physically or emotionally or mentally engage with evil. I don't have to engage with evil. I can defend myself, my property, my life, my family, those things that I love. And that is a powerful thing because in doing so, we are justified in our behavior. And we live in a world that is incredibly violent. The violence of this world from its very inception and the violence of the cosmos is something really to behold and to be in awe of because it's all around us. It's everywhere we look. There's violence and oppression. And it's part of the human condition, part of the condition of being on Earth. Even the various species are endlessly being eaten. It's just whether you're a poor jackrabbit racing ahead of some panther or coyote. Coyotes, man, they are the ones. I lived in Texas for a long time, and coyotes are a theme. But I want to also touch on the fact that there are such things as saints and sages. And these are entities which have a power. They have a capacity. And they have the ability to work their will. Or better yet, the will of the divine hierarchy, as their ability to do their work is in direct relationship to the amount of connection they have with the divine hierarchy and the beings of the divine hierarchy. So I'm translating this and I'm saying that these saints and sages are in fact members of and part of the divine hierarchy. And it's important to us to look to them to see how do we behave? What are our role models? What do we do? So when confronted by evil, it's appropriate to defend ourselves, the things we love and the people we love and our possessions. But do we not make them any longer an evil thing? That's not our job. It's not what we are instructed to do, either by Yeshua or by Philip in Analog 20. So we have to ask, as the concluding verse says, ask your mother. Well, we have to ask, how do we behave about these things? Because there's an understanding here that we don't necessarily get it. We don't really quite understand what it is that we're working with, because there's a cosmic population of beings that we don't know anything about, and that it's important to understand that we don't know. We don't know how to behave. We don't know what to do in the context of our calling in the divine hierarchy or our place in the cosmic reality. So we have to ask. And that's a good thing, because I know that I don't know. I know that I want to know. And I know that I will know. And I know that I will know because I have been told. I've had an experience. In my 20s, I was living in Connecticut, where I'm from. And I had a midnight experience of great confusion. And I was in turmoil and anxiety. And it was just, I think, the fact of just getting out of the Army and being in my 20s, which in and of itself is just cause for distress and alarm. But in my state of turmoil and turbulence, I was coming down this hillside in Silvermine, near Norwalk and New Canaan, close to where I grew up. And in that state, I was suddenly interrupted by a voice. And the voice, in a booming and clear and authoritative way, said to me, "You don't know now, but you will know." And I took that as affirmation and confirmation that, in fact, I was in the right path. Although the path seemed pretty rocky and tumultuous, dangerous, it was okay. And I think that's the message that comes to us from the saints and sages. And they're saying, don't worry, because these things that you fear are actually things that we are using for our own purposes. That these things that you fear don't even know themselves that they are serving the divine hierarchy. And that is the magic, that is the gift that comes to us, as we are not responsible. We are responsible to live according to the teachings of Yeshua in the context of the divine hierarchy. So I want to talk a little bit about the teachings of Yeshua, because it's directly related to what it is that we're saying here. Maybe even a little off track, but I want to say it. I want to say that the two essential teachings of Yeshua that I can understand and that are really important. As he says, essentially, those people before told you to do something, but I'm telling you to do this. So meditate on this. Meditate on the idea that Yeshua said, those other people told you to do this, but I am telling you to do this. So the two things that I think that he is instructing us to pay attention to are our moral purity, our moral clarity, and not eating food sacrificed to idols. In other words, don't feed your personality, which is the seedbed for idolatries. Do not feed your personality. And find in your life, in your wilderness walk, moral clarity. Those are the two things that I feel very clearly about. Yeshua said to us, And I feel like that is a wonderful way to frame the idea that the saints and sages are served by the oppressive powers. The oppressive powers serve the saints and sages. How more sublime and beautiful could anything be than that? And I take hold of that, and I like that, because you don't have to listen to them. You don't have to listen to the oppressors, because they are really serving the saints and sages, even though they don't know it. So we listen to the saints and sages. We don't listen to the oppressive powers. That is the meditation for today. I hope you will sink in and do the meditation that I am suggesting, or at least write it in your journal as something to think about for a later meditation. Because it's a lot like dream work. I love doing dream work, and it's another change in topic here, but dream work is really important because what it does is it encourages us to take ourselves more seriously, to be more considerate of our own experiences. And sometimes it's easier to enter into our own experience through a dream because the dream reveals much. It's a different way, a different thing. It's like the Gospel of Philip. You don't know how it's going to end, and so you're more encouraged to read it to find out, well, what the heck is there? This is fascinating. What's there? And our dreams are like that. They are fascinating, and we want to know what's there. What's there for us? And so we concentrate and we meditate on our dreams, which are in fact gateways to our own experience. So we are learning how to meditate on the experience that we have in this wonderful place called Earth. And how can we then draw closer to the divine hierarchy and understand our own calling? And it comes from understanding our own experience and moderating our behavior and our understanding of our own calling in such a way that it fulfills and enhances the experience that we have. So I would say pay attention to your dreams, but be careful of the dream worker that you pick, because a lot of them want to, strut their stuff and tell you how much they know about dreams. But the real essence of dream work is for you to find out more about who you are through the unfolding of your own dreams as they tell you. They tell you what you need to know. Amen.